whatever. Yeah, excuse the rather tedious, obvious link. Ah, what a day. What a day. I'm just here to say thanks, you know. Thanks to everybody who's in touch today. Everybody who's donated. Words of encouragement, you know, myself mainly. But my biggest thanks, obviously, you know, is reserved for God. Very emotional day for him today, as you can imagine. With it being old JC's isn't he day. But he took the time to say hello today, you know, which I was very sort of humbled by. At one point on the walk, I decided to walk back along the beach just to give my bloody feet a break, do you know what I mean? If you're going to walk 26 miles, don't do it in Adidas, because they're either made in a fucking factory by kids, you know, and they're fake, or they're made in a factory by kids and they're fucking genuine. Either way, the quality's fucking awful, and you really don't want to be pounding fucking 26 miles, 26.2 miles of pavement in them. So yeah, so I walked along the beach at one point, and you know, and I noticed my footprints, and I was on the point to collapse, do you know what I mean? And I looked back at one point, and there were like no footprints there at all, where I'd just been walking. And you know, I turned to God, who was sort of accompanying me at this point. I said, how come there's no footprints? He said that there's no tread on your fucking trainers, to be honest, and the sand's quite hard, so it's not leaving an imprint. So that was that explained. I'll quickly take you through the route if I can. I left my house, went down Brynmore Road, went down St Helens Road, turned right past that club where all the goths hang out, turned left onto Oxford Street, walked along Oxford Street as far as McDonald's, down past McDonald's, across by the old Evening Post building towards the sort of marina area, sort of over the bridge, did a bit of a left down the marina, back onto the prom, along the prom then, as far as the pier, which is the other side of the prom. From there I came back, got to the slip bridge, met my brother. I believe we were about 10 miles at that point. My brother did 5 miles with me then, sort of back along up to the marina and around SA1 a bit. We sort of cut back across then, through the arch, along the marina, back onto the prom. Walked him down to the 360 calf where he had to go. He done his bit, fair play, it was a big help. And I thought to myself, right, I need to get down to the pier and back, and I'll have 2 miles left. And the rain started kicking in, coincidentally about the time my brother left. It was bloody driving at one point, you know, and still no footprints, but I was on the concrete path at this point. Yeah, and I was going to go down to the pier. I got as far as just before Blackpill, and I thought, no, I'm going to go up Climb Path. You know, if you don't live in Swansea or whatever, then this will be irrelevant, as most of this conversation will. I thought I'll go up Climb Path, you know, the trees, whoosh, get a bit of shelter from the rain, I was thinking. So I piled up there as far as the railway pub. I had to climb that awful hill then, as all the people eagerly following the live broadcast will already know. I had to climb that hill to Calais, and along Gower Road, down through Sketty Park, trying to avoid all the drug dealers. Managed that successfully again for the 95th day on the trot. Down to Singleton Park entrance by Bishop Gore. Down that path, swerving the dog shit as you have to, but I took a right, took the long way round past Sketty Hall, all the way around the bottom, across then to that little entrance by, you know, across the road to Brimmill Park. I did a lap of Brimmill Park, back into Singleton, across that same bit again, turned left, turned right, into the uni, along there, through the uni, down back onto Mumbles Road, and then I thought, right, I had about fucking 3 miles left or something. And I was fucking starving, you know, I was going to buy something to eat in Brimmill Park, or in, there was a couple of places I was going to eat. just to grab, a snack, because I'd run out of provisions at this point. And everywhere was closed, because of the rain. They'd all fucked off. And I was flagging, to be honest. My plan was, right, I'll walk to McDonald's, I'll grab something, and I'll walk back, and I'll be done near enough. And I thought, I'm not going to fucking make it to McDonald's. So I did a little left by the Party Raj, did a right then down to the Spa, grabbed a cheese roll, a Mars bar, and a lemonade. And by this time, the rain had been dry. It'd been raining since I sort of was halfway up the Black Path, so you can imagine. I think I said I was on 17 miles, so I had about 7 miles of rain, and the last sort of 3 or 4 miles I've been driving rain. My feet were fucking killing. I actually said out loud to myself at one point, what did I say? I said something like, accept this is going to hurt. Out loud, I didn't even know whose voice it was. I said, just accept it's going to hurt. And it made me think of, women having babies and that, and I just thought, they'd take a bloody leaf out of my book, couldn't they? But anyway, that's besides the point. So I went to the Spa, got a few provisions, rammed the fucking Mars bar down my mouth quicker than I've ever eaten anything in my life. And by this time I was absolutely saturated. I was shivering. My feet were burning, but I was shivering. I don't want you to feel sorry for me, to be honest with you. I'm just telling you what happened. And I thought, I gotta get out of these fucking clothes, man. And I was round the corner from my house. So I come back to the house, I got all my clothes off, because as I say, it was fucking soaked through. Got changed, and I thought, I looked outside, it was still hammering it down. I thought I'd be soaked again within a minute. I thought, fuck this, I'm doing the last mile and a half on home soil, which seemed like a good idea at the time. So I was like doing fucking laps in my garden like some sort of caged fucking lion, and then running up and down my hallway. And, when you're running up and down your hallway, I don't live in a big flat, and you still got about a mile and a half left, you've got to go up and down loads of fucking times, you know what I mean? And that last sort of the last mile wasn't so bad, it was a mile and a half, trying to get down to the last half mile in the house and the garden. It was fucking head work, do you know what I mean? I was thinking, I'll just go back out, and it was like, you'd be soaked within 2 minutes, and I thought, I was only fucking a mile left. And I thought, right, I could do a mile in about, I suppose 3 to 4 miles an hour, I think, is the standard pace when I'm walking. And I thought, right, a mile left, that's only 15 minutes in the house. I thought it's better than getting soaked within 2 minutes. That last fucking mile was head work. I'll tell you a weird moment. I was with my brother at the time, and I had this thing in my head of, right, once I get to the 13-mile mark, I can just think, right, that's, we're on the downhill fucking slope now. And this is a bit of advice for anybody, doing, whatever the challenge may be. Just about the psychology involved, because I've said all day, this was a psychological as opposed to a physical challenge. After 6 hours, it became a very physical challenge, if I'm honest. But ultimately, this was psychology. This was me versus me, mano a mano. Boy versus girl in the World Series of Love. And I checked my phone, and it was like 13.2 miles. And instead of that elated feeling I was expecting of, we're on the fucking back nine now, my immediate thought was just like, oh, for fuck's sake, I got to do all that again. Do you know what I mean? So, my advice for myself and others there is, if you've got something to do, don't have the halfway point as a fucking marker, Try and ignore that. Try and go for 2/3 or 3/4 or something, because they fucked my head up for a minute. And it was like a target I had in my head for a couple of miles, and I thought, right, I get to 13, and I've got less left, and I'm fucking done. But my first thought was, oh man, I gotta do that again. It was weird. Really fucking weird. Yeah. Now, I know I'm a bit of an attention seeker and all that, who isn't? Yeah, the only people who aren't attention seekers are fucking hermits, to be honest with you. If you're on Facebook or YouTube or whatever else, you're either an attention seeker or you're a voyeur, so let's not bloody judge, is it? Not at this time of night, after 26.2. But, I don't want to live in solitary confinement, and I do that quite a lot, So, sometimes I do seek attention from other humans. Shoot me now. Oh, I'll tell you something I just thought of now, which was weird. I don't know if it's because of my taste in women or, you know, shopping, in aisles I can't afford to be in or whatever, but I walked 26.2 miles today around the streets of Swansea. The prom was really busy all day, and I saw one smart bird. Can remember her well, actually, jogging towards me. She nearly smiled, nearly looked. She's probably bloody going through all my back catalogue of lectures now. So if you're watching this, love, yeah, nice one, because it was a nice moment for both of us. But it made me think, oh, for Christ's sake, I'm going to be single forever, yeah, to be honest with you, because, these Premier League girls that I like, they don't come down the bloody non-league grounds unless it's for a quick cup tie, and in and out, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I thought I'd share that with you there. I'll pop the link underneath. Yeah, what I was going to say, attention seeking and all that business. If you could share this video, I know I'm always saying, oh, can you share it? Can you share it? But if you could share this one, purely because after tomorrow I'm going to stop, trying to get donations in. Don't want to bore people with it. I'll put the link underneath, and don't just share it, share it and say, oh, my mate, he's a bit of a legend, single. Only saw one smart bird today. Walked 26.2 miles. 1.3 miles of that was in his hall. Nearly died a few times, Yeah, nearly died. Well, I nearly died. Well, they say about Jesus and he died and came back to life. I did that about 3 or 4 times today. So I don't know what big fuss about him is, as ever. So yeah, if you could share it with a little sort of note explaining it's for Active for Autism. It's a local charity. 100% of what they donate will actually go to help kids, and families affected by autism. My kids aren't autistic and they're hard enough work, so I can only imagine what it's like, to be honest with you. And obviously the more we help autistic people, the less hassle they're going to be for us in the future, isn't it? Looking at it from a purely selfish point of view. So yeah, in future, if you want to get involved with this charity, contact my mate Tom Naismith Shaw. He's in my friends list if you want to do some sort of fundraising. I know there's a few people I know touched by this I don't know, issue, what do you call it, illness or whatever. I don't know, I don't have to think of a word because I'll probably be disrespectful. But yeah, there's a few people I know touched by the autism situation or whatever. Let's see, I said I wouldn't think of a word and then I'm trying to think of one. So yeah, if you want to do some fundraising, get in touch with him or myself. But get this shared, if you would, for me in the next sort of 24 hours, and I'll leave you alone then, to be honest with you, because I'm going to be kept in for about the next 3 days. Alright, thanks for the donations that come in today, especially my daughter. Thanks to my brother for joining me today. Thanks for all your messages. But all thanks to God ultimately, innit? Alright, thanks guys. I'm just going to have a little kip now. Thank you.